Welcome to another episode of Not for the Weak-Minded. Today, I'm going to show you some symbols in plain sight to do with the unicorn and show you the links between that royalty and where the stories meet mythology, ancient history, different geological time period, and is essentially a story that relates to creation. So in what you're about to see is lots of photographs for now from two different shops, essentially in Reading Town Centre, and you're just going to see that these companies, first of all, are controlled by the same corrupt organisation, let's call it, by the same people, and that these things are being put in the shelves not by the request of the people, but because that's what they want to put in the shops. So these toys, these things I'm going to show you are everywhere, and it means things. Storage cases, rainbow calendars, and a unicorn calendar. Unicorns are real. Believe in unicorns. Unicorns of the sea. Time to be a unicorn. Unicorn emoji picture frame. Another balloon. Sparkly unicorns and rainbow snakes and ladders. Hens. Booklet. More. Unicorns are real. Unicorns are real. What's this? Plush notebooks. Team Unicorn. Unicorn kids dress. Unicorn colouring book. A very weird unicorn baby toy. Just toy unicorn. An ornament unicorn for decorating. Candle unicorn. Sorry, no, that's a pen holder unicorn for that pen. How about a money pup with a unicorn? Glitter unicorn? Unicorn bag? Just a regular toy unicorn. Seahorse unicorn? Unicorn slippers? Unicorn lights? Unicorn lights. Again. Unicorn bags. Some argue that might be a narwhal. There are narwhals as well. And that does relate to this, sort of, but not really. Just because it's got one horn, really. Two different cats with horns on their heads. Really? Horn mug. Fluffy key rings with horns. Phone case. Keychains. More pens. More pens. Seahorses as well is another thing because they've got one horn. Unicorn wallpaper with the rainbow. Something to put some stuff in. Mug. Unicorn bag and a narwhal bag. Squishy thing. This whole shelf as well, in a sec, is all products by Unicorn. That's the company. This whole shelf. So, unicorn, 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 unicorn. So the company is called Unicorn, and they use the rainbow and they make unicorn products. This should make you think. Why? Why? Seahorse. Seahorse and a narwhal. Got one horn. Some kind of duck with one horn. It's weird. Another unicorn product. The glitter putty. It melts again and again. Unicorn headbands. Gift tags. Present toppers. Napkins. A book. More books. More books. An ornament. Napkins again. And more balloons. So essentially, there is a great deal of information related to the topic of the unicorn. First of all, let's just read this. Being a unicorn, someone who sleeps with couples in 2017 is both easier and trickier than it's ever been. Typically, the sex kind of unicorn is a bisexual girl who is down to hook up with generally heterosexual, monogamish couples, often as no strings attached threesome experience arranged in advance. So there's a reason for pushing the unicorn. They want you to do that. Next. The unicorn is mentioned in the Bible. It occurs in the King James Bible version in the passages cited, where Revised Version, the British and American, has wild ox. Okay, that's interesting. So when you read the Bible in many different ways, its format, you'll see that unicorn has been wild ox has been replaced with unicorn. This has to do with geological time and that things in the past were much bigger. So, you know, the time of the woolly mammoth, etc. You know, the saber-toothed cat. So this unicorn in the Bible is described as an animal of great ferocity and strength. A wild ox. An ox or an antelope. A wild oxen. And untamable. It was, in reality, a two-horned animal. Now this is my point. I don't think it was. I think it was a wild animal that had one horn. Now, I have not got the article on here, but you can Google in ancientorigins.net and other sites for one-horned animals that have been found, particularly in Germany, and how that kind of relates to what people saw in the past when it was written down by, say, the Romans and stuff like that. Large animals that were still around that are meant to be extinct. So this goes into cryptozoology really as well, a little, and about how they've been very selective with what really is out there to begin with and lied about the rest, which when you know are real, like for example Bigfoot, you know, it must make you question things differently. So some have supposed it to be the buffalo, others the white antelope called the Arb's rim. Most probably, however, the word denotes the Bos primigenus, or the primitive ox, which is now extinct all over the world. This was the Orcus of the Germans and the Urs described by Caesar as inhabiting the Hycean forest. The word, thus rendered, has been found in an Assyrian inscription written over the word wild ox or bison, which some also suppose to be the animal intended. So the Bible calls it a wild ox. The literature, where it comes from, the Sumerian literature, the Assyrian literature, calls it a wild bison or wild ox. So what is the unicorn? Did it have one horn? And was it a ferocious wild ox? And how does that really relate to what we're seeing in the shops? So the unicorn, and today, the sign of the times. The unicorn, or the unicorn horn, This is a druid symbol representing homosexuality. The Chinese word for unicorn is Qi Lin. Qi is male and Lin is female. Witchcraft places a high regard upon homosexuality and believes that the demon Amadeus is contacted by using a unicorn figure. So I didn't write this, there's other people's comments. It's odd that the name of the animal is unicorn and it's a representation of homosexuality, bringing a union between something that is not natural. Considering the unicorn isn't natural or isn't a real animal, it stands for something that isn't natural, homosexuality. It may be another part of them promoting homosexuality. You see, there's dualistic meanings in these signs and symbols, and so this sign has been around for a long time. It goes back to the beginning of time, and this is where you now understand the translations of the Bible and where it comes from and what the unicorn really means. So we revere animals and all cultures have that type of mythology still in them today. You know, the Indians don't eat, you know, cow, for example. You know, and at one point we revered this animal, this wild ox. And so this wild ox, regardless if it had one horn or two horns, it might have had one horn, has to do with the Garden of Eden and the stories within the Bible, and Adam naming as well the first animal, the unicorn. And that animal came with us. And so there is it's a good symbol associated with knowledge to do with creation, but it's also a bad symbol with knowledge associated with sodomites. You know, the real meaning of sodomites is, or Sodom, you know, Sodom, the people that are the sodomites is transvestite pedophiles. Essentially, that is what they are. That is what sodomy is. Sodomites are. Sorry. And so these people are in control of our society. This is why you see the unicorn everywhere. This is why you see the rainbow everywhere. This is why you see the pyramid and the all-seeing eye everywhere, because they're using that knowledge of creation, the stories within the Bible, to go against the Bible, go against creation, to create their own world, their own way, against everything that we have built in the past that they've not told you about. So the dark side of the unicorn t-shirt, you know, a prism with white light coming in that then goes into the rainbow with a unicorn at the end of it. It's a secret symbol. So there you go. Coat of arms. What do we see? We see the unicorn. Not just that, but we see the unicorn tied up, chained up. They've chained up the unicorn, look. So what do you think that really means? A detail of the Rothschild window. The unicorn is an uncommon symbol in Judaic symbolism. Apparently the scripture describes a single-horned creature. This has sometimes been depicted as a unicorn. Should be a wild ox, but they've changed the stories and they have made it the unicorn. We revered the wild ox because it was our life. So the last picture, the adventures of Tintin, the secrets of the unicorn. Aphrodisiacs want the horn, and there is a lot to do with the dark side of our civilization and what it really represents. And so please, when you start seeing things being put out by these corrupt institutions in these shops, you must know why. And that is because it is a symbol being used as a language in plain sight. So the unicorn is another symbol of good and bad knowledge, which is being used against you, even though if you knew what it meant, you would understand that it's why it's being chained up in the first place in the picture, in the royal seal. So please note that today we use Latin and description, and on our monuments we use Latin. There's a reason for that, because Rome is in charge again. The souls of the past, they never went away. They went in hiding because of the frequencies around that are coming because of the stars, and they are running out of time essentially to control you all, and they know it. So essentially they would rather kill us all than let us ascend. Well, they're making it very difficult for us, that's to say the least. But you need to wake up and see the signs and symbols and know the sign of the times. Know that fucking geoengineering is global warming, and that the earth is stationary. You know, space is water and you relate to water and frequencies. So please share, like and subscribe.